Hi, welcome back to another one of my videos. I kind of want to do an updated introduction video in this very beautiful car, even though it's not my car, but why not? So yeah, we're like halfway through 2024, which has been a really good year for me. I hope 2024 has been great for every one of you as well. Let's just dive right in. For all you good folks who have been with me all this while, thank you so much for your support. For all you good folks who are new to my channel, you might want to consider subscribing it, because as and when I can, I try to do very cool videos for you guys, but I have a job, a full-time job, so I can't push out videos as and when I can. I have kids, I have family, so a lot of my free time are being taken up by my family, so there's not really a lot of time left for myself, even late at night sometimes when I come back, I'm a little tired, so I drink a little alcohol after the kids have all gone to bed, and have a little bit of my time to myself. I just kind of pop on the TV, watch some TV programs, or play some games on my PlayStation 5. As much as I can, even though I would want to record a video in the night, and then when it's all quiet and the kids family is all sleeping, I just cannot do it because I will wake up the whole family, and my wife, my queen, my kids will start complaining that I'm too noisy, they can't sleep and whatnot. So yeah, all those free time at night, I would definitely want to do a video for you guys, but I just cannot do it. Yeah, really sorry about that. Back in the days when I have my own car and I travel a lot for my work, I tend to do some video. So I tend to record videos when I'm driving, because I don't want to have a script and I prepare anything beforehand. I just talk whatever comes to my mind. So it's just something that I enjoy doing in the past, but these days I don't really get to do it because I changed my job. Yeah, that's about it. So let's just go a little bit deeper. Some of you guys may have seen my previous videos, my introduction video when I was driving in my 2011 a Subaru WRX Sti. I love cars. I've always loved cars, and I was born and raised in Singapore in the 80s, but my love for Japan was so big, and there was so much influence from the Japanese side when I was in Singapore. The games, the cars, the technology, basically everything around me was just surrounded by cool Japanese products. Like Korean stuff like Samsung and all that weren't that popular back then in Singapore. So basically it's all like Japanese stuff everywhere you go. So I grew up with a lot of Japanese influence, so I kind of really like Japanese stuff. So yeah, born and raised in Singapore, born in the 80s, raised in Singapore, all the way for a good 20 odd years. Okay, hold on. Okay, I gotta turn right here. There's a lot of cars coming up. Okay. So yeah, I kind of like Japan a lot. Never got a chance to travel to Japan until I started learning the Japanese language. In a Japanese school in Singapore, and then there was a school trip that brought me and my family to Japan, and I, having been inspired and loved so many things Japanese for so many years, finally got a chance to come to Japan. I think it was like sometime in the 2000s, early 2000s. I can't really remember. I really enjoyed the trip. I love it. And I told myself I have to, be in Japan in the future, because Singapore is a very small country, as some of you guys might know. We're like 5 degrees above the equator, so we get summer only. That's the only season we get summer, and it has always been really hot. And folks like me crave for the mountains, the snow, and want to do snowboarding and whatnot. So the only way to do it is to step out of the country. But every Singaporean that I know is it's like a cycle. You know, you work hard, you make the money, and then you travel abroad. You travel abroad, and then you come back to Singapore. You repeat the whole cycle, rinse and repeat the whole cycle again. But you know, that's good for most people. But I figure, you know, like the first day when you go for holidays is usually like the most exciting, because you know, you get all your stuff packed, and then you go to the airport, take the plane, and you know, it's just very nice. You know, the experience, the maybe adrenaline, you know, the excitement. But the last day of the trip is usually like the worst, because you know you gotta go back to Singapore, rinse and repeat, and then God knows when you're gonna come back out again. So didn't really like the idea of doing that every year. So I thought to myself, if I can find a job for me here in Japan, I would not be doing that rinse and repeat cycle every now and then. I think it'll be a lot better, you know, to be here. And Japan is a huge country compared to Singapore. A lot of Japanese will usually say their country is small compared to America, Russia, and China. Of course, you know, they are a relatively small country compared to those countries. But coming from Singapore, we're not even a country, we're an island. We don't even have states or prefectures, you know. Like if you're born in Singapore, by the time you hit like 20 years old, you probably know, like you know, you probably have at least a friend in every part of Singapore or something. You know, I'm not sure, but Singapore is just so small. Maybe like Hong Kong, maybe like South Korea. It's just a very small, tiny island country. So you don't really get to do a lot in Singapore. And you know, because it's such a hot country, it's very hard to dress up and dress well, because you know, once you step out of the house, you start sweating, and it's so hot. So most people just rock the, you know, beachwear, you know, sandals, Bermudas, and singlet or t-shirt. I mean, you can get away fine for most situations, unless you have like a business meeting, or unless you have to go to a wedding or something. You know, like fashion in hot countries, it's just a little bit hard. Maybe you can put in effort, you know, to coordinate whatnot, but it's just not. You don't have the seasons that forces you to change your clothing choice. You know, the choices that you choose, your coat, you know, your winter jackets and whatnot. You know, but yeah, that's basically in Singapore. So everyone in Singapore that I know wants to step out, because every other country is so much better. But not everyone get the opportunity to step out of the country, because it's just. You know, it's like you can think about it, you can plan, but it takes a lot of courage to take the first step to step out. And I had been planning to move to Japan since I was 15 years old. And back then in Singapore, I told my parents, I told a lot of people around me that, you know, I love Japan. Someday I want to go to Japan. I will work there and live there. But you know, when you're 15 and you talk to people, nobody really pays attention to you, because, you know, they thought you're just, you know, just talking, you know, out of nowhere. Nobody would just take you seriously. So I had my, you know, thoughts sorted out. I told people, but nobody believed me. So the only way to go about doing that is to show people that I'm not just talking, you know, I'm not just building castles in the air or something, you know, but I gotta show people that I want to, you know, do like go have a goal, a vision, and go realize it, you know. So yeah, I mean, you know, in Singapore, all the guys have to serve the army. It's just a part of a duty being a Singaporean. So after you serve your army, and then after you complete your university, that's where your actual life starts. But it's kind of sad, because you spend like a good, I don't know, like 6 years in primary school, and then you go to like 4 years in a secondary school, which is like junior high school in the States, and then you know, you spend maybe 2 years in like a junior college, or you know, it's like a high school. And then if not, you don't spend 2 years in college. Maybe you spend 3 years in like a polytechnic, which is a place that you learn specialized skills. And then you go to university, and most guys, before they go to university, they will probably have to serve army. So you spend so much time, you know, like 6 years, 3 years, you know, as and when. It's more like 10 odd years you spend studying, and then you go to the army, and then you probably become brain dead because they wash everything out of your head to train you, and then you come back out of the army and you try to go back to university. It's just so hard to go back to studying, because army really messes up your head. But I did enjoy army, it wasn't that bad, it's just something that we have to do, so we can't say no. So yeah, it's just different. And then after you spend a good amount of time studying and graduating from college or university, then that's where your life starts. But most people will want to get a job and start planning, and the cycle, it's basically the path that's being laid out in front of us as a Singaporean who's born in Singapore is pretty much standard. We don't get a lot of say. Our parents work hard and put food on the table and put us in schools, put us in good schools, back then, so that we can get a very good education and probably get a good job, a high-paying job in the future. But I think it's slightly different these days in Singapore because, back then it was a little different. Yeah, these days I don't know how it's like. I've been out of Singapore for almost like 20 years, 18 years to be exact. So I spent half my time in Singapore and moved to Japan when I was 26 and spent almost like the other half of my time here in Japan. So basically Japan and Singapore both are like my home. I stepped out of Singapore and then I saw the changes in Singapore, and when I went back and then I saw the changes in Japan. As a foreigner living here, and then after being in Japan for a while, as a Singaporean, I didn't want to be when I first step out of Singapore, I didn't want to go to like Tokyo or the Osaka or the big cities. I kind of wanted to be in the countryside because it's not something that we can do as a Singaporean, because Singapore is a big city. Everywhere that has commercial value, the government or companies will kind of want to make the most out of it. They don't have like more those the rural lands for you to explore and have fun and do camping and whatnot. It just doesn't work like that. So yeah, it's very competitive. It's a very small country. People work hard, and most people in Singapore tend to be relatively smart because from young you're trained as at least 2 languages. English is a native language in Singapore, so everyone in Singapore, I would say like 80-90% of the population speaks really good English. And then you also speak your mother tongue, which is your native, not native, your race, whichever race you're born into, you probably speak that language. Like my parents are Chinese, so I speak Chinese, but we're not related to China anywhere, because some people get the misconception. Race and nationality is 2 different things. Like Japanese and Chinese is just different. Chinese or Japanese can be both a race and a nationality. So some people mistake it for like a nationality, but that's not the case. Chinese by race, not by nationality. So yeah, that's something that I always have to explain to Japanese people. Like, I'm from Singapore, I am Chinese, but I'm not from China. So it's kind of like, yeah. Sometimes some Japanese do have to explain that as well. Like some Japanese who are not from Japan and they're born in like, hold on, I gotta pass through the gate to go to the highway. Let's just see if it works. Oh, it works, okay. Because I'm like, the first time I'm driving this Ferrari SF90 on a highway, so I don't know how it works. I got the card in, so yeah. Okay, it works. So we're now heading out to the highway. Okay, good. Let's just continue. I'm like, 13 minutes. I don't know how long it can record, but just do like a maybe 20-minute video or something. I hope you guys can bear with me. Yeah, so moved here in 2006. Before that, I was in Singapore, enjoying. Okay, never mind. This car has all that like sensors and what is that? The radar system or something. I think it's to tell you that there's like a police car coming or something. Okay, wait, hold on. I gotta pull out to the traffic. Okay, I'm out. Okay, good. Yeah, it'll just give you the alarm that tells you that this place, police and whatnot. You gotta be careful. So this is. The first time I'm actually driving a Ferrari on a highway. A Ferrari, yeah. It's not a car that most people like me or myself will ever get to drive one in real life. I'm very fortunate that my passion of cars kind of landed me this job in my current company. I only started this job in January 2024. 2023 has been one of the worst year in my life. I broke my leg, and then things weren't going very well within me and my family, because work is physically demanding, so it kind of takes a little bit of toll on my emotions. So when I get back home, I'm tired, and I'm all messed up. Sometimes I kind of got angry with the kids, and it's not very good. It's not very healthy. So and then a lot of things happened. So it wasn't the best year. It was one of the worst year in my life. So 2024 has been a year that I have been really looking forward to, because number one, 2024 apparently is a good start for me. It's the year of the dragon in the a Chinese zodiac or Asian zodiac. So a dragon year, 2024. It will be a very, very good start. And sometime in 2023, I met this my boss. I didn't know he was a boss. He dressed very normally, because he owns his own company. He's not flashy. He doesn't drive like his fanciful cars, or wear like expensive Rolex watches and gold chains and whatnot. He's very laid back. He's very cool. So when I first met him, I didn't know he was a boss, and he told me he just moved to my place, my area, my neighborhood recently, and there's a lot of things that he didn't know. So he brought his son to ice hockey. That's how I met him. So because it's such a small community where I am, and ice hockey is not a major sport. So everyone in the ice hockey community, we kind of know who they are, and every time there's somebody new coming to the community, is usually introduced by someone already in the club, in the community. So when I ask him, how do you find out about ice hockey, and what makes you choose hockey over other sports? And he was telling me he's kind of like new to my neighborhood, so he has like small children, so he got a few flyers and pamphlets for his children, and asked his children to pick one of the pamphlets so that they can play some sports and just be lazy and chill around the house every day. So that's how it all started. Okay, never mind. That's how it all started. So it's not like somebody introduced him to the community. He kind of went around searching for okay, never mind. Okay, I don't know how the car works. Okay, never mind. Okay. Okay, so I know him as a friend first, and then I kind of invited him over to my house. We hang out, and we had lunch and whatnot, So that's how I know him. And then sometime down the road, he was asking me if you're interested to join my company, and I'm like, join your company? What are you talking about? And then he told me that I'm actually a boss of my own company. I'm actually looking for a very specific people to join my company. So I was wondering if you'll be interested to join my company. And I'm like, why me? And he was telling me he wanted somebody who's local, who have lived in this neighborhood, in this area for a long time, and I fit the bill. And he wanted somebody who speaks more than 3 languages, English, Chinese, Japanese, because his company kind of deals with different folks, not just Japanese, So fits the bill, and he wants to do marketing, and he needs somebody who knows how to do YouTube and photography, video post-processing and whatnot. And I've been doing YouTube videos for a while, so I kind of have a little bit of experience, not the best, And I've been doing photography for a long time. I used to be a wedding photographer, but not anymore. Thanks to COVID, kind of reset my life and everything around me. I kind of gave up the photography job. I no longer shoot wedding pictures. So, my roof is basically covered. My boss picked me up, reached out, his hand and dragged me out when I was in worse, but that's a story for another day. So he got me. He asked me, whether I might be interested to join his company, and I'm like, I need to talk to my family. Why not? I don't really know about his company, so. And I talked to my family. They were really supportive. They were like, you're not getting any younger, and there are just not so many good companies where I am in the countryside. So if a company looks at you and appreciates you as an asset, your talents and whatnot, you might want to, yeah, give it some thought and consider it, because it's not every day you get offers like that. And I think it's my passion for cars that got him interested, because he's the boss of his own company, and he likes to buy like exotic cars, like this Ferrari SF90 Spider. He likes open cars, you see, but he doesn't have the time to drive it or maintain it. So he needs somebody who knows a fair bit of knowledge about cars to maintain it and his fleet, and to like prep his car and take his cars out for a walk, because cars, you probably can leave them in a garage for a long time, but he doesn't have like a fanciful garage that can store all his like a cars like J Reno or something. He's just a boss of an average size company, not like a super big company or something. So he has like a few cars, and this Ferrari was bought after he joined the company. He bought this Ferrari in like in February, and joined his company in January. So back then it's kind of funny. Like he was asking me before he bought the Ferrari, and before I even joined the company, he was asking me like which Ferrari is good. The Ferrari, I think it was an 812, or I think it's the 812, the 800 series or something. I can't really remember the specific number, or the SF90, which is better. And that was even before I joined his company. So I was thinking, I don't have experience in Ferrari, because, how many of us can actually get to drive a Ferrari? It's not possible, So I know Japanese cars and whatnot, but not Ferrari. So I thought to myself, it might be like a trick question. If I get it right, he might hire me. If I don't get it right, he might not hire me. So I went to do my research. But and then SF90 is a very new, relatively new Ferrari, a hybrid system. Not many people have experience with it, and I don't even have. I've not driven any Ferraris or Lamborghini, so I don't know about supercars. So yeah, so I did my research, and I told him like, yeah, why not? The SF90 looks a lot better. Has a new technology, hybrid system, 986 horsepower, so it might be an interesting car. But it's a new car, as a Ferrari with a new hybrid system. It's prone to a lot of problems, issues that you can read online. A whole bunch of issues with SF90s, like the car is not charging, electrical problems and whatnot. But it's a very new technology to Ferrari. They probably have to iron out all these issues and release a few hybrid cars, and then they'll perfect it over the years. But it's just not easy. But I told him, get the SF90, and it's a cool car. And he actually got the SF90, so it's pretty crazy that he actually got it. And I think he didn't regret getting the SF90. He liked it, and he says, you made a fantastic choice. So yeah, I'm happy he got it. When the car is being delivered in February, I was there with him, and then I've never driven a Ferrari or like a supercar in my life before. I'm just the average Joe in the street. We don't drive fanciful cars like that. But I can get myself a Tommy car, or a Matchbox cars or something, a toy car, or like a Playmobil or something. So one day, he kind of asked me, have you ever driven like a supercar? I was like, no, I'm like a normal person, like the average Joe. How in the world would I drive a supercar? I'm not a boss or anything, So and then he smiled and said, well, if you have the time, you should take the pony for a walk. Drive the car and familiarize yourself with the car, because I need you as a stable master to take care of my cars, my fleet, get them in working order. So as and when I need those cars, you need to be able to drive them out and deliver them. I was like, oh. And he's like, no, it's part of a job. I hire you because you like cars, you know your way around a car, you learn pretty fast. So none of us here is able to do that. So as part of your job requirement, you're supposed to take care of the cars, and to take care of the cars, you have to be able to drive them, to know what buttons. And I was like, okay, as part of my job, I have to do it. So he gave me the spare key, which is like a gray Ferrari mark on it. The main key itself is a beautiful, like what is that, like a yellow. The gray one is the spare key, so you don't want to let people know you're holding the spare key or something. But it's a very flashy car, the SF90. So you drive it around, everyone's everyone sees the car because you don't get many of these traveling around. And this car itself, it's still expensive here in Japan, but it's nowhere near the price of this car in Singapore. This car itself in Singapore, the SF90, I'm not sure the Spider or the Straddle, it's almost like 2.5 million Singapore dollars in Singapore before you even get the the registration and everything done. So that's about equivalent to about 1.8 million US dollars for this car, to drive this car in Singapore. You can probably drive it for 10 years. So no way, not many people will get to drive one of these. But in Japan, it's under like $1 million. You probably can get it under $1 million. But there's this weird market in Japan that the Ferrari dealers do not sell like really exotic Ferraris to regular people. You have to be on their VIP list to buy one of these cars. And a lot of folks who own Ferraris in Japan, they buy Ferrari as an investment because there's just so many Ferraris that comes into Japan every year. So when an exotic Ferrari comes into Japan, the VIP gets the car first, and then they can choose whether they to buy it or not buy it. And then they buy it, they kind of sell it as instantly as a used car, like a new used car that has not been driven. And they kind of increase the price from there, and they make money from there. So you see a lot of like very, very nice Ferraris that has not been driven, but they're being sold as used cars with like almost like, I don't know, 10 kilometers or like 20 kilometers or maybe like 100 kilometers, like totally not being driven. So basically it's just all these VIP people buying the cars and selling them, because if you go to a dealer and try to buy one of these, it will not go to you. They'll go, once the car comes in, it'll go to the folks in the VIP list, and then if they don't want it, you can buy it, but they will buy it and then they will sell it at a higher price. So that's how they make money. So basically that's the market in Japan. So even if you have the money, you have to buy one of these cars from at a slightly inflated prices. You can buy this off the recommended retail price from Ferrari. That's how it works in Japan, I think. You probably can ship one direct from Italy with all your like custom specs and all your mods and whatnot, but I'm not sure. And this car itself, it doesn't come with Apple Play to have an Apple Play option. I think it's like I don't know, like a few $1,000s. It's crazy, man. But it's a relatively nice car to drive. Like I've been on the highway for a while now, so it's not too harsh of a car to drive. You do hear the V8 twin turbo engine in the back. Soundproofing is decent, almost like a normal car, nowhere near Rolls Royce, because Rolls Royce is like a luxury car, totally different. But this is like a supercar, so it's made for speed, for the track. It's it's a fun car, but I don't want to drive too fast because I'll kill a lot of bugs and have a problem removing the dead bugs later. So yeah, the car, despite being almost like 1.6 tons, is actually very nimble, very fast, because 986 horsepower disposal is no joke. The steering is extremely responsive. It's almost like a go-kart. Just a slight movement of the steering, the car will just instantly respond to that. So it's very, very different from regular cars. I mean, with 986 horsepower disposal, it has to be that nimble. The wheels, I didn't measure the wheels. I think 22 inch or something is really, really big. So yeah, the car is very long. I think it's 4.8 to 4.9 meters, and I think it's 2.3 meters wide. 1.6 tons. Yeah, but fun car to drive. The only thing I would complain, not really complain, but the only thing I'm concerned is the lack of space in the car. You sit one passenger on the side and you don't have space for anything else. The front doesn't fit a lot. Only maybe a 30 liter backpack will fit, but that's about it. Don't really have a lot of space in a car. But well, these cars are not made like your family car where you go to the grocery store and pick up groceries and pick up your kids. It's just different. So yeah, I hope you do enjoy this Ferrari video, SF90. Not every day I get to do a video on one of these cars. So yeah, I'm almost 30 minutes in the video. I probably have to concentrate on my driving and cut off the video here. So I thank you so much for checking out my videos. I hope you guys enjoy it. I just want to be careful with this car because I have $1 million on my hand. I just want to be really careful. So yeah, not a lot of cars on the road. Take care, drive safe. I'll see you guys in more future videos. Take care. Bye.